Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Kelly. Welcome to Solution Seekers once again. It's almost the end of the week, y'all. Hope everybody's ready for the weekend. Me, myself, it's time to go to work. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about one major thing and a couple of subtopics. One is, it seems like nobody's going to support you, but yet you're going around there supporting everybody else, but where comes your support? Man, today it just doesn't make any sense how many always want you to support them in all their endeavors, but yet can they support you? I think that has a lot to do with their character or what they may, or just basically where they're at in their lives, man. But if you're anything like me, man, if we're friends until the wheels fall off. But there is stipulations on that, because I'm not just going to be out here running around helping everybody out like I've caught myself doing before. It's one of the major things that we can do in this life is try to help the next individual, the man, the woman, the child, or whoever, man. So many people are not doing it, but does that reflect upon a person's character at that point in time? Because at that point in time, a person can be really selfish or really self-focused. But then again, there may be some reasons going behind. Maybe some people are going through some struggles that none of us never know about. But at the end of the day, man, it's just like, man, I just don't understand it. But then you know what? A couple of people were always asking me, man, Kelly, man, why do people do what they do? And then I'm reminded about this lecture I heard from this guy named Big West. He says, man, they do what they do because that's just where they're at in their lives, man. And at some point in time, we're just going to have to accept it, and for good, bad, or indifferent. And it's just like, it really doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I can only focus on myself and my side of the street and the quality of life that I'm trying to make for myself or those around me. Like, for example, a friend of mine just told me that she's got to go back in for some medical stuff, and that's not easy. I'm dealing with some medical issues myself. I just had an MRI tonight. That's not really easy. But the only thing I could tell him is that you don't have to do it alone unless you choose to. Because all you got to do is pick up the phone and call me, and I'll be right there. God, as long as it doesn't interfere with my work. But if it's really that serious, well, shit, I guess I'll be taking a day off work. Because some people are just that important to me. In case nobody has told you today, if nobody's told you they love you, well, I do. But, man, for me, for somebody who's... how I am today is a far cry from who I used to be. Because, I don't know if I ever addressed it. I spent like 23, 24 years incarcerated of my life. Most of my adult, from 19 until 42. And then several years as a juvenile. But when all the smoke clears, it's like 22, 20. So you know what? What's give or take? What's a couple of years? When you're invested in that type of life that I was, it really didn't matter. It's a far cry from what real change happens when you can kind of look back in your former position and see where you were at versus where you're at now. And that change for me happened in 2012. Once that change, I've always been somebody who's, if you was part of my squad, if you was part of my crew, or if you was one of my boys, or just somebody who was down with me, man, I had your back completely. I did time for it. Not to say that has anything to do with me. That was just a stupid ass move that I made by getting myself involved in certain activities. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that's the past. I can't do nothing to go about changing it. But what I can do right now is change today and tomorrow. And I try to look back on that as a reference point of, I've made it through some perilous situations, man. Some situations that I didn't even think that I was going to possibly make it through. So I'm using that as a metaphor to where everything that happens to me now is like everything's always been taken care of and everything will always be taken care of. But it's my thinking that everything is going to become a shit show. But a lot of the times it has to do with my emotional my emotional equilibrium or my mental standpoint. Am I making a mountain out of a molehill, or am I just thinking doom and gloom and not trying to put no positive emphasis on the given situation? My body is slowly falling apart, and I'm not where I'm career-wise. I haven't even started yet. And that's my dumbass fault for waiting until I turned 43 years old to try to get my life together. Now I'm 51 now. Can't you tell? Anyway, so trying to look back and see where I once was versus, all and navigating all those waters. Man, there's a novel thing about using your past experiences as a way to that emboldens you to face the challenges that life presents. Because you know what? None of us are exempt from whatever life throws at us. The only recourse that we can possibly have is how in the hell are we going to deal with this situation? The shit ain't easy, but you know what? It's doable. It's doable. It's very doable. And I like to think that it becomes doable when you surround yourself with some people who can tell you that it's actually doable. At least that's my take on it. I overthink way too much. But once I start overthinking the situation, that's when my solution comes in. It's that because after a while, I start having a pity party. Why me, poor Kelly. Then I have a little pity party. And then something magical happens. The solution comes. And sometimes the solution comes from one of my friends, or I'll hear something. Something I read some poetry, or I'll just start thinking about something, or I'll just take a drive, or I listen to some music, and then my solution comes. And typically my solution is that, man, where's my faith at? Where's my faith in myself? Where's the people around me that have faith in me that I can overcome this? So it's really not. It's never the problems. It's about how we actually respond to those little small things that nobody else can take care of for us. Because most of our issues, can't nobody just go write a check and take care of everything. We're gonna have to. It would be nice, but we're still gonna have to have some involvement on our part on how we're gonna navigate those waters. And I just like to think that's what self-esteem, that's what self-value, self-appreciation comes from. It's never about the shiny shit or how much money you have in the bank or whatever, because all that shit can go. But at the end of the day, it's all that stuff that's inside. In my opinion, for me, because I've had all that stuff and everything left, or the people that were around me were only for that. There was always something. Does anybody really want me for me, and not something that I can do for them? And at the end of the day, and the type of life that I lived, there was I couldn't trust anybody. Who can I trust? Is anybody even consistent? Look, it's 2020, and are people more consistent now than they were 20 years ago? I don't think so. Or maybe let's even go 7 years ago. We've advanced so far with technology, but we've regressed. What about social interaction? People can't even have conversations anymore. They can't even express what the hell is a problem. They have to express it on a Facebook or a tweet. I find that startling, sad. But at the end of the day, people gonna do what they do, and they're gonna follow what they follow. Man, the only thing I can try to do is just like, man, I can be here, I can help you, I can assist you. But at the end of the day, it's not about what I tell you, it's what you tell yourself. And in a real way, because, man, I wish that I could see myself 25 years ago and tell myself just what I said right now, or maybe some of the other videos. Is possibility blindness a factor in my life? If it is, why? Why? I'm seeing so many other people dealing with this and overcoming these obstacles, no matter what they are, whether medical, they're financial, they're relationship-wise, or spiritual-wise, spiritual-based, or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's what are you gonna do about it? How bad do you want it? Do you have a why? Do you have a purpose? What's your reason for getting up in the morning? Yeah, let's not get it messed up. I woke up last year. It's like, damn, I'm still here, and it's like, then my gratitude kicks in because I'm dealing with a lot of physical issues, and I said that off the cuff, and you know, if I can tell you like it really is, I don't like to, I'm not ashamed of saying what's really going on with me because it's going on with me, and it also affects a lot of other different people. But I'm not. I can actually say it and just like, oh, that's where I was at. I'm not there today, but it was a growing exercise because sometimes life will force you to grow in ways that you're not even ready for and you never even knew existed, because that's how it was for me this past year. I lost a lot, but I also gained a whole lot. Everything that I gained has to do with my faith, has to do with my loyalty to myself and to my few friends, and then I also had to vacate some other people. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, as they used to say. But it's just, I have to do what's best for me, and a lot of people don't really understand it. I can understand it when I got people who are kind of like off to the side, they're dealing with whatever, and they're kind of, they don't answer the phone, they don't respond to the text message, whatever, I'm trying to go hang out or do whatever, and I can respect the fact that maybe they're going through something, maybe they just don't want to be bothered. I can respect that, but at least tell me, and 9 times out of 10 they do, and but I give them their space, except for a few of them, because I know they're going through some shit, and I just and I hope I'm not bothering you, but I just want to check in with you. I don't need a response, but I feel as though it's my duty to check up on you, let you know that somebody cares, and I think that's one of the main things that's going on in this world today, is that a whole lot of people really don't care about anybody else. They're just self-focused, and I was like that for a long time, but I found out that my true quality and value of my life started increasing when I started caring about other people. Like I said earlier, that's a far cry from where I used to be, how I used to function. But you know what? Today I can say, man, I love everybody, man. Some of you I can love you from afar. Some of you I want to love you as far as that you will let me in. But you know what? I just want you to do what's best for you. Remove all the possibility blindness, remove all the negativity, just remove all that negative bullshit out the way and just start living your life like it should be lived. And if whatever you're going through, trust me, some other people are going right through it with you, because you're not alone in it, because a lot of times in our situation when life shows up, we like to think that we're the only ones going through it. We're not, because our situation is uniquely ours, and it's kind of hard to see ourselves when we're in the frame, when we're in the picture. But see, that's when sometimes it's kind of like backing up and looking at the picture and saying, you know what, it's possible. Like Les Brown says, it's possible. You have a lot of quality and value. You're a remarkable individual, and you're a miracle, whether you know it or not. Man, I can't even believe I'm saying that. Because, in 1990, I wasn't saying none of that. 1999, I wasn't saying none of that. But I can say it today, and I can say it and actually mean it. It's 2020. It's almost the end of February, man. This time is going by fast, man. A lot of people are dying, man. So, each day should be, try to live each day like it's your last, man. Because, man, it's wicked out there, and man, love those you love, and do what's best for you. And I hope you enjoy this, because there's kids downstairs and they're making a lot of noise. And thank you for watching. If you please like, share, and subscribe, and have a good night. Bye.